Hello, and welcome back for another episode of the Accessible Technology Podcast by me, Phoebes Lyle. If this is your first time listening to this podcast, this is a podcast where you get to hear all about the everyday technology that is accessible for disabled people, as well as learning what tech is less accessible, and where you can also get details on how your company can continue making technology more accessible if you're in that sort of industry or if you're a freelancer working in that as well. My interest in accessible technology comes largely from the fact that I am paralyzed from the neck down, which means that I can't move anything else other than my head. So that's why each of the tech stories and reviews you get to hear on here are all from the point of view of someone who has very limited movement. The podcast is now available to listen to on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Audible, and Spotify. However, if you'd like to support the podcast and the content I produce in other ways, you can also support it by going over to the Phoebes Now Buy Me a Coffee page, which is where you will also be able to find exclusive episodes that aren't part of the podcast, as well as checking out a shop that I plan to open at some stage. In this episode, we're going to be hearing my review of the Turtle Beach Stealth 600 gaming headset. But before I get too far into this episode, here's just a couple of additional notes that I want to give you about the product and about the company just before we get into this. As I start back on the additional note section of this podcast. So the headset was first released by Turtle Beach in 2017, and it includes features such as superhuman hearing, a ProSpecs design, and has virtual surround sound through Windows Sonic. That is now available for between £75 to 89.99p or £90, with various other deals being available throughout the year. So yeah, the cost sort of differs, but that's what makes it a wee bit more accessible to people who want to check it out. But now that I've gone through all of that, let's jump straight into the episode. The Turtle Beach Stealth 600 is a wireless gaming headset for Xbox, which I've been using pretty much every time I've been gaming on my Xbox this year. Rated one of the best wireless headsets you can use on Xbox One by Wired. It has full surround sound and superhuman hearing, which really impresses me as far as audio goes. The one I have is for Xbox, since that's my preferred console platform from the accessibility point of view and compatible with PC. But there's also ones you can get for the PlayStation and Nintendo Switch. Xbox Wireless provides you with a best-in-class wireless gaming audio experience by letting you connect your Stealth 600 gaming headset directly to your console without an adapter, the same way you'd connect to a wireless controller. Xbox Wireless automatically configures the headset's connection, so you just have to turn it on and start playing. Glass is friendly with an all-day 15-hour battery. As someone who uses glasses depending on how much text is in a game and depending on where I'm playing, you won't feel like they get in the way. And there's also a microphone. But now let's see what all we get in the box. When we get into the box, you'll see the literature on all the information you need to know and instructions on how to set the headset up and the headset itself, along with a wire which will be in the green packaging. I like how the packaging itself shows off the Xbox colours and the Turtle Beach engraving, but other than that, they also seemed pretty easy to get out. But overall, I think the Turtle Beach Stealth 600 gaming headset has good volume on it, and it is the headset I use most of the time when gaming. I haven't been able to try out the microphone too much as of yet, as most of the gaming I do is single player, but I might give it a go in future if I get more into multiplayer gaming, and I'm sure I could give a reaction to it after that. Like what I said in my Skull Candy review, I think the only thing that could make them more accessible for me as someone who can't move her head is if they included a voice control option for me to be able to turn the volume up and down. But other than that, that's like the only thing I think they could do better. So what are your thoughts on the Turtle Beach Stealth 600 gaming headset? Have you bought them before? Have you tried them? And if you have, how did you feel about them? And did you dislike or like them? Personally, while I may have given them a good review when the video for this episode originally came out, I have since moved on to another Xbox Wireless headset, which I hope to get a review out on the YouTube channel sometime soon, so please keep an eye out for that. And which I do find a lot easier to put on up with, but each to their own. But if you disagree with me and would like to pass on some of your thoughts, you can include them in a review wherever you're listening to this on, as well as via the contact pages over on my Freestyle Tech Reviews site, www.pltechreviews.co.uk, or on my other website, phoebelau.com. If you're interested in watching the other videos that I have uploaded about accessible technology before, you can find more of them by searching for my PL Tech Reviews YouTube channel. And if you'd also like to see a couple of my accessible tours and reviews, as well as my film, TV, theatre reviews and political videos, you can see them by searching for Freestyle Journalism on YouTube. And if you would also like to hear the content that I cover on my Phoebes Now Journalism channel and podcast forum, you can do that by searching for the Phoebes Now podcast on all of the same destinations as you can listen to this podcast on. But of course, there is also the Phoebes Now Buy Me a Coffee page again, where you'll be able to find some exclusive episodes of this podcast that aren't actually part of it. The next few episodes are going to be slightly different as I bring you 6 of the Disability History Month episodes that I did. And that is another series that I did back in 2020, back when lockdown was actually a thing. Those will start with an episode on how social distancing was made easier for disabled people throughout the pandemic, thanks to streaming and video chat sites. And I'll then be jumping into other episodes such as the technological solutions that we relied on in 2020 to help us attend events, and which one of those should stay on to help make the world a wee bit more accessible to disabled people, as well as covering the accessibility options that developers should include to make technology and gaming more accessible. Then we'll be jumping into where accessible and assistive tech sits within the law. And in the last episode, I'll be talking about disability representation in video games. But anyway, that's all for now, and I hope you look forward to the next episodes that come out. I am now updating this podcast 3 times a week, and I hope that that will still remain the case, and then hopefully that will soon enough allow me to jump into covering other bits of tech news that are taking place this year. But yeah, we'll see what happens, because I do have other commitments away from this as well. If you would like to support me on any of my socials, you can do so by searching for and following at Phoebes Now on Twitter. And if you would like to support me on Instagram, you can do so by searching for and following The Real Phoebes Now. However, you can also follow the Phoebes Now Tech Review site if you have a WordPress account. And as always, the link to that is pltechreviews.co.uk. Yet again, thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you on the next one. Bye!